So, I just got out of Black Widow, and I know what you're thinking. Well, how was it? Let me explain. I wasn't really sure what to expect from this movie, It can be hard to imagine the future of this sprawling story that is the Marvel Cinematic Universe in any way that's satisfying after the world-altering stakes of Avengers Endgame. Should Marvel try to keep one-upping itself, somehow raising those already impossibly high stakes of half of all life being taken away? Or do you start fresh, try to tell a little self-contained, more grounded story that's satisfying and well-made in its own right? I feel like for now at least, that's probably the best move, and that's really what they do here. Thanos doesn't even show up until probably around the 1 hour mark of this film, and when he does, it feels very natural to the plot. There's an argument to be made that Marvel should have taken time off from releasing movies in theaters after Endgame, but look, there's just no way realistically that would happen. You can't stop the machine. With how much money they've been bringing in, it would have to take a worldwide disaster for them to not put multiple new movies out this year, let alone one. Marvel's not just gonna take time off, And if you were wondering whether or not the Marvel hype had finally started to die down, I walk inside, the place is packed. So superhero fatigue, it's not a thing. That is my point. So, the movie starts with the iconic scene from Avengers Endgame where Black Widow Natasha Romanoff heroically sacrifices herself to save the universe, but mostly so Jeremy Renner can see his family again. But just before she hits the ground, it pauses, and you hear a voiceover from Nat herself, saying, "Yeah, that's me. I bet you're wondering how I got here. Like, what's my origin story? It's about time I told you, right?" Which is some classic Marvel self-aware meta humor to get the audience nice and comfortable with the rampant sexism that kept them from making the movie till now. Thankfully, as the opening reminds the audience, the delays to the Black Widow solo movie are now long behind us. Nat then starts rewinding the movie, and you see a bunch of flash frames from classic iconic moments go by, and then we settle on the image of a baby being born. And Nat's voiceover says, "Whoa, I didn't want to go back that far." So she fast forwards a bit and then says, "How about we start right here?" And then the story begins in earnest. Since the main part of the movie takes place after the events of Captain America Civil War, you don't expect to get a ton of her origin story in this film, but you do get pieces of it interspersed throughout the film's running time, showing her time in what the characters call the Red Room, the top-secret Soviet brainwashing program that Nat was once a part of. It all works to give you a sense of how this character became an assassin, and it's surprising to see just how little of her life has been her choice. For example, you can trace a lot of Nat's life to the moment she was bitten by a Black Widow spider. It did seem a bit derivative of another insect character, Ant-Man, but they're just being faithful to the comics, probably. I don't have time. Look, I don't have time to sit around in my house all day and just read. Who has the time for that? As for the villain of the movie, Taskmaster, who I have on good authority is from the comics, Taskmaster has been mind-controlling all the assassins in the Red Room, and Nat's not a fan of this, and she too was once a cog in that system, and wants to prevent anyone else from falling victim to it. And really, everything to do with the masked villain Taskmaster, who's adept at holding a shield, is tied into mind control, and may or may not be tied to the hero's distant past, it all feels a little reminiscent to all the Winter Soldier stuff. At one point, Natasha actually even says, "This is a lot like Captain America the Winter Soldier, 2014. Yet another blink and you'll miss it meta joke from the Marvel company. As for the Taskmaster's true identity, quote unquote, he definitely contains multitudes. There's a reveal revolving around, quote-unquote, his true identity that you'll never see coming. I've never been so excited to see a person not wear a mask." Okay, a big thing many fans have been wondering. Do we, in fact, finally see just what went down in Budapest, the crazy adventure that Black Widow and Hawkeye have repeatedly alluded to in the Avengers movies? Well, rest assured, you'll finally get your answer, and you'll feel like you finally understand this crucial missing piece to the story. And not to give anything away, but not only will it change the way that you watch all the other movies, it'll make you wish that you could have that much fun playing backgammon. There's also a lot of rumors going around about if Tony Stark is in the film, since it takes place after Civil War, and it'd be possible for it to work given the timeline. And without giving anything away, yes, Tony is in the movie. But he's not played by Robert Downey Jr. Now, I won't say what actor does suit up as Iron Man in the film, but it'll leave you saying, "Bazinga!" on your way out of the theater. A lot of people have been getting a kick out of the fact that not only is David Harbour from Stranger Things in the movie, but he's also playing a character named Alexei, which is the same name as a memorable new character from Stranger Things' most recent season. Unfortunately, though, I tell you to temper your expectations going into the theater. Don't expect to see a lot of David Harbour in this, because, again, without giving anything away, the Demogorgon takes him out pretty early. One last thing, something that I really didn't expect from this movie is a new addition to the Marvel lore that seems to make an effort to overwrite previous films. It seemed like a very strange creative decision to give yet another origin story for how Nick Fury lost his eye. Now, the movie did take place after Civil War, so he has definitely had that eye gone for many years before that, so this really created a huge continuity error with the other movies. I guess they just wanted to appease all the people who were upset about Captain Marvel's explanation, where it was that Flurkin cat thing that scratched his eye, thing, and then people felt it was anticlimactic, and yeah, I guess that's understandable. But still, I'm not sure if we needed a 10-minute, very realistically paced scene of Nick taking an eye exam at the doctor's office, in addition to another 30-minute scene where he does in fact lose the eye, which I will refer to simply as the coffee incident. I mean, come on, editors, assemble. I'm here to see a movie, not think about the doctor. Overall, though, Black Widow was a very satisfying addition to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and such a fun way to kick off Phase 4. Kevin Feige doesn't miss a beat. Don't wait for this one to hit digital. It deserves to be seen on the big screen in a theater. Thanks for watching my non-spoiler review, everyone. So glad they brought her back to life at the end. Be sure to smash that bell.